Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Beautiful afternoon for baseball here at the Big A. The Angels have won the first two against the Houston Astros. They picked up a couple of games in the standings, and this afternoon we wrap up this three-game set and the long homestand as the Astros and the Angels tangle once again. The Halos 3.5 back now in the West, 2 back of the second wild card spot. Texas hosting the Oakland Athletics later on today, and they will host the Houston Astros for a 4-game set beginning tomorrow night. As we welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Kubica. I'm Victor Rojas, and last night the long ball prevalent in the 8th inning. C.J. Cron has had a terrific last month, actually last month and a half or thereabouts. Long ball was prevalent last night. Home run against a very good reliever in Will Harris.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about his ERA, but a great swing from C.J. Cron. Take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. He brought his hands inside the baseball extremely well there, because when you're trying to deal with a 92-mile-an-hour moving fastball, you have to bring those hands in quickly. He said that last night. He was looking on the inner half, see him bringing the hands in, and be able to get the barrel of the bat out there to drive that ball not only out of the ballpark, but way out of the ballpark in center field for C.J. Cron. His 12th home run of the season, a big one, go-ahead run, and eventually win that one again, 3-2.
Yeah, third consecutive victory for the Angels by that same margin. And on the flip side of things, when you look at the Astros lineup, a lot of good players on that team, but Carlos Correa, a very special player at shortstop.
Well, he is, and when you think about the pitching matchup, when you got Andrew Heaney going against him, you're going to have to deal with a lot of pitches down in the strike zone against him, make some quality off-speed pitches. Mike Fears is the guy who's thrown a no-hitter. That was back on August 21st against the Dodgers. So you got two pitchers with good stuff. They will both pitch inside very effectively. Fires really pitches inside well, sets up his off-speed pitches. Same thing with Andrew Heaney. His changeup should be very important today. Keeping the ball down, limit the amount of pitches thrown to each batter. Very important to keep that ball down and get a lot of ground ball outs for Heaney.
Hector Santiago had some success last night. Let's see if Andrew can follow up as we're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. one started, Andrew has started his warm-up pitches, so we will take a look at the starting lineup for the Houston Astros as presented by their first-year skipper A.J. Hinch. And a very similar lineup, although there was a scratch before the game today. Carlos Gomez during batting practice hurt himself. He was taken out of the lineup. This is the lineup that A.J. has run out. Springer in right, Altuve at second, Correa at short. That remains the same. Gaddis moves up to the cleanup spot. He's the DH. Marlon Gonzalez at first base. Colby Rasmussen left. Jonathan Villar to start at third base this afternoon. Hank Conger behind the plate. And Jake Marisnick, originally not in the lineup, will bat ninth and play center field. As they take on Andrew Heaney, making his 15th start of the season. 6-3 and a 3.52 ERA.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid this season. This 81 hits in 84 in the third innings, pitched 62 punch-outs. My go-tos for Andrew today, when you look at how many pitches he throws per at batter faced, under 4 pitches per batter. So it's important to get ahead with that fastball and then finish off with either his slider. He's been mixing a few more curveballs and his excellent changeup.
Defensively, for the Halos this afternoon, David Murphy at left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right, the infield with David Freese and Eric Guyab on the left side, Taylor Featherston and C.J. Cron on the right, Carlos Perez behind the plate once again.
And with Heaney on the mound, a lot of ground ball action, especially at that third base position, and David Freese has really improved since you look back to 2011, fielding percentage at .941. This season, .974. Each year it's gotten better, more accurate too with his throws to first base, been solid defensively for the Halos.
3 consecutive 3-2 wins for the Angels. First time they've done that since 1989. First one this afternoon in for a strike. Springer, the right fielder, hitting .257, 13 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Had a 1-for-4 game yesterday as Houston managed 6 hits. The Angels had 9 in that 3-2 win. No balls, 2 strikes.
Back-to-back solid fastballs at 92 for Heaney.
Another warm afternoon, 87 degrees at first pitch. There's the 0-2 pitch, down and in, a breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Astros right fielder. Last start for Heaney was against the Dodgers. Gave up 5 runs, all earned, on 6 hits, working 5 innings through 96 pitches in that one. Delivers the 1-2, and Springer goes down swinging for the first down.
It's that nasty break ball. We talked about that and showed that on our Fox Visions, the pregame show, that break he has on his slider. His balance is good and how it starts on the outer part of the plate and then ends up down and in against a right-handed batter. That snap action, the rotation of the seams, that nasty slider to get a swing and miss. Springer pulled off the hand off the bat as he tried to make contact on that hard slider.
Going into today, Heaney has thrown a total of 152 and 2/3 innings. That's combined between AAA and the major league level. Something that everyone likes to watch, especially as you get deeper into the season with young players. First one to Altuve. He's cut on and foul back. Altuve saw 3 pitches in his first 3 at-bats last night. He ended up going 2 for 4 with a single and a double. Double for Altuve's 30th. That's upstairs. A 1 ball, 1 strike count just underway. Dan Bellino calling the balls and strikes today. Bruce Streckman at first, Alfonso Marquez at second, and it's Tom Hallion, the crew chief, at third. 1-2.
Always aggressive swinging the bat. Last 2 games, especially for Altuve. The game against Weaver was a little more patient.
Second start of the season for Heaney against the Astros. 6 innings in his first start with a run on 4 hits. Missed in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
.93-mile-an-hour fastball. Just missed the inside corner.
Oh, back inside it looks like. Full count. Carlos Correa on deck. And he walked it. got ahead and ends up issuing the base on balls. It'll put a man on for the shortstop.
And he kind of guided his change up there of the back-to-back fastballs that missed in.
Correa hitting .275, hit his 18th last night. Ended up going 1 for 3 with that home run. He also drew a walk. Altuve leads the American League in stolen bases, 37 bags. Swiped one yesterday in the first inning, but got overturned as he got in there quickly, but made the transition to switch feet. The tag was applied, so they overturned the call as Correa takes down an in.
Heaney a little bit quicker to the plate than Hector Santiago, with a little higher leg kick for Hector.
Fouled off.
Now it's time for Tools of the Trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Last night, Carlos Correa on the 11th pitch in that long at bat against Hector Santiago. Thought he broke his bat, got a new bat on the 12th pitch. Hits a mammoth home run off Hector Santiago last night. Hector was wondering, I didn't hear that bat crack, or it didn't seem like he did initially. There was any issue with the bat, changed bats, hits a home run on the 12th pitch.
Because it had everything to do with the bat.
Yes.
Not the mislocation. It's 1 ball, 1 strike now.
Hey, us pitchers, it's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Either that or we can blame it on the catcher calling for a fastball.
1 and 2, I should say. Correa has also chipped in 17 doubles on the season. Now Altuve with a 1-out walk stands at first. Game against Houston that Heaney pitched was his first as an Angel, and that was right here on June 24th. We're told 83 pitches in those 6 innings. Good lead for Altuve at first. 2-2 now. Full count. So back-to-back full counts. Figure Altuve will be on the move here. Gaddis on deck.
And a good fastball for me, down and away. See if you can get a ground ball on an infielder. Doesn't chase many pitches out of the strike zone, especially for a youngster. They're going back inside once again.
Altuve takes off. This one's fouled off. The thing about pitching him inside is that you better make sure that you don't leave a pitch over the heart of the plate, meaning you don't finish off that fastball a la Hector Santiago last night. Correa is going to punish it.
And he's shown a real solid eye, so he doesn't chase that pitch off the inside corner. So I still feel you're better served throwing that fastball down and away. Now, we talked about my go-tos for Andrew Heaney as far as pitches per batter. Less than 4, 3.7. He's already had a couple full counts in this game so far.
Yeah, 16 pitches through the first 3 batters of the game. A strikeout, a walk, and now 3-2 again. He walked him, so back-to-back walks. It'll bring up Gaddis. Gaddis, a free swinger, but also a lot of power. DH, hitting .238 with 23 home runs and 75 runs batted in. Had a 1-for-4 game last night with a single. Mike Butcher out to pay a visit.
And they kept trying and trying and trying. Fastball in
on Correa.
I think that kind of goes back to the discussion we've had a number of times when you talk about scouting reports, and I get it, you go through a scouting report with a starting pitcher each day, but you also have to take a look at what the guy is doing at that time, or what he's done over the last couple of games, and you've seen a certain approach for Correa and the damage he's capable of creating on the inside part of the pitch, inside part of the plate, I should say. So you kind of need to kind of roll with the adjustments a little bit.
You have to.
Altuve at second, Correa at first, and Gaddis takes a strike.
You got to bury that look back to second. Altuve trying to time Andrew Heaney.
Murphy and Trout playing shallow. Cole a little bit deeper and right. Good speed on the bases for the Astros. Last night they were 0 for 2 with men in scoring position.
The goal always as a pitcher with a guy on second, especially with good speed, is make him stop. It means looking back once, then looking back 3 times, varying your look back to second.
0-1 pitch. Gaddis pops it up. Shallow center field. Ibar going out. Trout coming in. Ibar with the call, and he drops it. Throw to first base. They call an infield fly rule on that, so Gaddis is out. Wow. That was a late call because I didn't see it. Second base umpire Alfonso Marquez makes the call for infield fly rule. That's why Altuve did not advance. Infield fly rule.
You see the hands
advance.
up. He's calling the infield fly rule at that point.
Yeah, runners advance at their own risk.
Well,
on an infield fly rule.
At that point, you'd almost rather have it not because you can get the force out at third and take Altuve off the bases and let Gaddis be at first.
See, Correa was about 3/4 of the way to second, and had it been alerted quickly enough, they would have been able to double him up over at first base. So 2 outs. Runners remained at first and second, and here's Marwin Gonzalez. I'm not sure Trout ever saw that baseball the way he was running in.
That was a tough play for Eric going back on it.
Gonzalez, a switch hitting first baseman, takes a strike. 278, has 10 home runs and 32 RBIs. 0 for 4 last night. 1 for 7 in the series, and that one was a bunt base hit. There's a left-handed batter, a drag bunt on the first base side. A long top of the first. A lot of pitches thrown by Andrew. A couple of walks. One ball, one strike. Gonzalez shoots one out to right center field. Trout had a position perfectly, and Heaney will get out of the jam. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score. The top of the order coming up. For the Angels, game number 142. Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout, and Albert Pujols in the top third of the order, with Albert DHing, David Murphy, C.J. Cron, and Eric Ibar in the middle third. And you've got Freese, Perez, and Featherston. It's the same starting lineup that Scioscia ran out there in last night's game. As to take on the 30-year-old right-hander native of Hollywood, Florida. His name is Mike Fiers.
Fiers fastball is 88-93, slider, cut fastball, curveball, changeup. 7 and 10 mark overall this season, but my go-tos bringing that fastball up. He pitches inside well, but he's definitely down in the strike zone a lot. And it's that simple approach. Use the middle of the field. Look for a fastball. Use the big part of the field. And then as the game progresses, look for one of those mistakes.
22nd round pick originally by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2009 out of Nova Southeastern University. And acquired along with Carlos Gomez on July 30th. So a no-hitter a couple of starts ago, and that was against the Dodgers. Cole steps in to lead things off for the Angels. Swings through that first one at 88, cuts through it. It's an 0-1 count. Calhoun hitting .269, his 23 home runs, 75 runs batted in. 0 for 4 in last night's game.
Not a lot of at-bats for many Angels against Fiers. Just Freese with the most.
First time he's ever faced the Angels.
Had a good changeup. Saw that one there. Straight over the top in his delivery.
28th game, 27th start combined between Milwaukee and Houston. 7 and 10 with a 3.66 ERA. Worked 155 total innings this year. Correa back to the shortstop side of second base. The 1-2 is right down the pipe for strike 3. 1 down. That'll bring up Mike Trout.
It's almost if Cole was looking for something off speed, especially with changing up the pitch before.
Trout at .292, 34 and 76 home runs and RBIs. And he hammers one out to deep left field. That's a towering shot. 1-0 Angels. 35th of the season for Trout.
Back-to-back at-bats, hacking early in the count. First pitch, Trout gets a fastball down in the zone, and a majestic home run to left field for Trout, bringing that weight forward, the barrel of the bat, and a high, long home run for Trout. 35th home run, 77th RBI.
Albert swinging first pitch, pops it up on the first base side. Gonzalez drifting over. Will make the catch for out number 2. Second home run hit by Trout since August the 8th. Been on that kind of a cool stretch with the long ball. And most of the home runs that we see him hit usually more out toward right center field, center, some to left center. Never really out to straight left field.
No, he went out and got that pitch.
Yeah.
A sinking fastball at 90.
There's Murphy. Murphy looks at a strike. David, 287, has 8 home runs and 38 runs batted in. 1-4 game last night. Off speed pitch. It's 0-2. Trout picking up his 77th RBI. He slices it foul. One of the things that the Astros liked about acquiring Fiers, not only does he pitch out of the bullpen, but he's got a good arm, good enough arm to be in the rotation. That's where he's been most of the season. But under club control, doesn't hit free agency until 2020. Go with some of the young arms. Murphy bounces this one back to the mound. Fiers flips it over to Marwin Gonzalez. That's the third out of the inning with the Angels strike for a run as Mike Trout hits his 35th of the season to give the Angels a 1-0 lead.
When he went down and got this low fastball and got the barrel of the bat out, the leverage going forward, crushed it out to left field. Update, the Cardinals trying to hold on to that lead in the NL Central, and the Rangers trying to stay focused against Oakland today before that big 4-game series with these Astros starting tomorrow. Mike Trout down and got that fastball. First pitch swinging, back-to-back at bats. One last night, and then the first at bat today.
Haney delivers a strike to start the second. Threw 22 pitches in the first. A couple of walks, but got out of it with no damage. He'll face Rasmus Villar and Conger here in the second. 6, 7, and 8. Rasmus is starting left fielder this afternoon. Takes down and away. He's hitting .228 on the season. 19 home runs and 49 with family. Did not play last night. Went 0 for 3 in the opening game. That was on Friday. 1-1. That is lined out toward the alley in right center field. That'll get down for a hit. Cole cuts it off, spins around, and gets it back in and holds Rasmus to a single.
Third baseman number 2.
My Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful. A little motley crew. Kickstart my heart, especially if Trout starts to swing the bat like he has his last couple at bats. He can carry this club in that quest to overtake Texas, then eventually, hopefully, the Astros. So important to this offense. When they were dealing, the Angels was Pujols and Trout carrying the load, especially when they won 17 of 20 games.
Man on for Jonathan Villar. Base hit for Rasmus, the first hit allowed by Heaney. Villar, the third baseman today. First action for him in the series. 276 on the year. A couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in. Fouled that one back. 1-1. Yard takes down and away. It's a 264 from the right side this year, 289 from the left. Just a total of 98 at bats this season. Two and two. Yard takes a called strike 3, and there's out number 1. Painted on the inside corner, and he picks up his second strikeout.
That's great location of a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, lower part of the strike zone. You can check out our Fox tracks, definitely in the strike zone at the knees.
Conger last night homering from the right side of the plate. And that tied the score at 2. His only hit of the game, went 1 for 3. 1 for 6 in the series. 220 average. The home run was his 11th. Has 32 runs batted in. Just missed down and in. Pitching from behind, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Rasmus over at first base, leadoff single for him.
We guided that pitch once again. He's thrown 33 pitches in this game, Andrew Heaney. 17 strikes, 16 out of the zone. When you look what he's done this season, nearly 66% of his pitches are strikes. Not so far in this game.
Dangerous team to do that with. A lot of long balls. Conger looks at a strike 3-1.
One thing Heaney can do well is get a ground ball. He's got 6 ground ball double plays turned behind him this season. There's a guy up right now, if he gets a ground ball and an infielder, perfect opportunity to get a double play.
Conger pops it up. Crone and Featherston, probably an easier play for Featherston. Crone takes charge, makes the catch. 2 down. So Rasmus still at first base, and Jake Marisnick coming up. Rough night at the plate last night, but fantastic defensively. 2 great plays in left field. Offensively went 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs.
Boy, did he cover some ground last night.
They almost made a 3rd spectacular play. Pujols double. Takes down and away. He doesn't get a strike there, but a good, much better changeup for him.
Yeah, he didn't guide that one. That was perfect on his follow through.
Andrew a little frustrated right now, at least in the early going, command wise. Fouls it off. 237 hitter this year with 9 home runs and 32 runs batted in.
He came in and he stumbled and reached back, made an unbelievable play. To react quickly like that, to hold himself up with his right hand and leap up and make an unbelievable leaping catch there for Marisnick.
This one's skied to shallow right center field. Trout calling for it. underneath it, makes the catch, and we will head to the bottom of the second with the Angels leading at 1-0. Oktoberfest, September 25th. Angels taking on the Mariners at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a boot mug courtesy of Shock Top while supplies last. Get your tickets today at the stadium box office, or you can do so online. C.J. Cron to lead things off, followed by Eric Ibar and then David Freese.
See that delivery from Mike Fiers straight over the top, which usually when you throw like that, you should have a very solid changeup. See that good changeup he has right there, because you think fastball straight over the top.
Cron had a 2-for-3 game last night with a single and a home run. Also drew a walk. 271, 12 home runs, 40 runs batted in. That is skied down the left field line. Another towering shot, a rainmaker. This one is going to go. Big fly for C.J. Cron, 2-0 Halos.
Good fastball count. Ends up getting a changeup, a mislocated changeup from Fiers against C.J. Cron. See how he tries to turn that one over, but it stays upstairs. Got the barrel of the bat through the baseball once again. And C.J. Cron, another home run, back-to-back games. 13th home run of the season for C.J. Cron.
Brings up Eric Ibar. 270 hitter with a couple of home runs and 38 RBIs.
Baseball's been carrying very well this entire homestand, but really good here today. It's normal in day games here at the Big A. Another good count to do some damage. 2-0 count.
Fourth time in his career that Cron's hit home runs in back-to-back games. Ibar skies this one out to shallow center. Correa dealing with the sunshine and makes a catch for the first out.
Boy, going back on the Correa, almost looked back to see where Marisnik was, and it didn't seem like he saw the ball either coming in from center field. Everything hit in the air. You see that communication between the two. Anything hit high in the air here today is not going to be an easy out.
David Freese hitting .255 now. Takes a strike. David with a multi-hit game last night, a couple of singles, picked up an RBI, ended up going 2 for 4. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 solo home runs so far for the Angels. Trout in the first, Cron to lead off the second.
That's the 16th home run Fires is allowed now. A little less than 120 innings pitched combined.
Two on the way. Freese shoots it down the right field line. This one's got some carry, but it'll slice foul.
That baseball went a long way down the line.
Texas has opened up a 3-0 lead on Oakland. That game, bottom of the 4th. Beltre, Chu with home runs. Minnesota shutting out the White Sox currently 7-0.
That was Chris Sale on the mound for the White Sox.
Freese shoots on the right. Good piece of hitting with 2 strikes. Picks up a single. And Carlos Perez will step up.
Now 3 for 5 in his career versus Fires. Using that whole field once again, that solid approach for David Freese. Fastball, a good spot, down and away, but stayed back on it well and has punched that ball in the right field. Is trying to make contact. He tried to pull that ball. It's a ground ball to short.
Perez takes upstairs. Carlos hitting .223. 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Over 3 last night. Did pick up an RBI.
It's a combination Mike Scioscia likes to try a hit and run with Perez, plate, Freese at first.
One ball, 1 strike. Carlos has caught all 3 games in the series. Something that we've talked about quite a bit. Should be catching quite a bit the rest of the way down. Just going into the offseason, so you can evaluate going into next year as well. He's done a nice job defensively. Freese takes off. The hit and run is on. This one's fouled off to the right. Featherston on deck. Carlos loops one out to shallow right field. Springer racing in. Altuve going out. Altuve makes the catch.
It's a nice play by Altuve. Going back. Long way to go from his position at second base. How far he's got to run and still look up to see where Springer's going to be. Springer gets out of the way. Nice play by Altuve. The Astros second as far as fielding percentage in the American League at .987, trailing only Baltimore.
68 errors committed on the year. Angels, on the other hand, have committed 80. To a tough stretch in August there with errors racked up for the Angels. Featherston hitting .160 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. 0 for 4 last night. back at second base once again. Johnny Giavatello says he's feeling better. He's trying to get back. It's fouled off. He's missed some time.
He's got a smile on his face of late, which is good to see. Before, this struggling, walking around, now feeling a lot better.
You know, that fourth nerve palsy caused dizziness. One pitch, down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. This game wraps up the Angels' long homestand. One more homestand, but before that, you've got a tough little stretch of games coming up. Seattle, Minnesota, and then the Houston Astros again. Q shot up the first base line. That'll stay in fair territory. Fires, applies the tag, and that's the 3rd out. The Angels get a run on the C.J. Cron home run, his 13th of the season. 2 in the books, 2-0 Halos.
He jumped on that 2-0 changeup, hooked it down the line for his 12th home or 13th home run of the season.
Hashtag West State a strong fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Andrew Heaney takes the mound here in the 3rd inning with a 2-0 lead now. He'll face Springer, Altuve, and Correa, the top of the order for Houston. Springer struck out in the first. Fouls that first pitch back. Springer, 25 years of age now. He hits this one past Ibar. It's a leadoff single. Brings up Altuve.
That changeup was up a little bit higher than Andrew Heaney wanted to throw that one. Got the ball on the ground. And Springer able to hit it up towards the middle.
Altuve drew a walk, one of 2 issued by Heaney in the first inning. Eventually stranded at second base. Springer at first base has 14 bags. Been caught 3 times. Andrew threw 22 pitches in the first, 17 in the second. Altuve shoots one out to right field. Cole is there. 1 away.
Again, swinging on that first pitch.
When you look at the numbers for the Astros, I mean, they are kind of an all or nothing type of team, and it's gone in their favor this year. I mean, you look at on base percentage, they're 11th. They will strike out quite a bit. They will also hit the long ball quite a bit. They're second to the Toronto Blue Jays in home runs with 195.
They will steal bases also.
6th in runs scored. But they're last in team batting average at 244. Just a tick below the Angels by percentage points. Correa drew a walk in the first. One ball, one strike. Correa, 20 years of age, the youngest position player in Major League Baseball. One. Good changeup there, 1-2.
He really threw that one well. Good arm motion with that changeup. Stayed on top, didn't cut off his delivery.
The 1-2. Fouls it off. Good coverage at the plate. Good eye for Correa.
He doesn't chase many pitches out of the strike zone.
Not yet, anyway. First taste of big league life. That's a foul tip. Hung on to by Perez. 2 outs. A strikeout.
He ran that fastball up and in. Looked like Correa was looking away, whether it's a breaking ball or changeup. To being a strikeout. Nice job by Carlos Perez to hold on to that. He just barely touched the bat.
So 2 outs. Springer at first base and Evan Gattis at the plate. He popped out. That was the infield fly rule that was called out in shallow center field. Gattis pops this one up on the first base side, headed behind the dugout for strike 1. Another good off-speed pitch.
See if you can get him to chase another off-speed pitch in the dirt.
Springer takes off, and Gattis fouls it off. A little walking start for Springer from first base. Started the inning off with a base hit. A couple of solo home runs for the Angels. Trout in the first, Crone in the second. Halos at the top of their order coming up at the bottom of this third inning. Andrew at 50 pitches. Nothing easy for him as of yet. Springer again takes off. Hot smash to short. Ibar's got it. Fires to first. Gaddis retired for the third out. So for the second straight inning, a leadoff single, and Heaney retires the next three. On a hot smash off the bat of Evan Gaddis.
Yeah, he hit this ball as hard as you can hit a ball. And right at him. Backhand into the outfield grass, and that strong throwing arm he has to get Gaddis at first. Hurts made some outstanding plays in this homestand.
Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols against Mike Fiers. 3 hits allowed, 2 solo shots. Cole struck out looking in the first.
It's amazing where Rasmus is playing. Cole Calhoun almost on the line in left field. Anticipating with something off speed or fastball away from Fiers that Cole will hit that ball that way. A lot of room in right center field.
Foul back, and it's 1-2. Hey, Fox Sports West, the Angels are excited to announce you can now download and use Angels brand new player emojis. We'll be unveiling one new player emoji each game broadcast through next Thursday. Today, we're unveiling the Cole Calhoun emoji. Log on to angels.com/emoji. Download them now.
That one's solid.
Yeah. Down and in. Give it a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So far, we've seen a Weaver, a Pujols, and now a Calhoun.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
There's more?
Can't wait till we get to Seattle. 2-2 now. And Cole, for the second time today, takes a fastball for a called strike 3.
And both of them almost the exact same location, both at 91 miles an hour. The exact same spot. Again, almost as if he's looking for a changeup.
John homering in the first, his 35th of the year, 77th run batted in. good rip at that one. Fouls it straight back. There's a 1-1. Breaking pitch. Not sure he's fully committed to that breaking ball.
Boy, if Trout can get hot, and it's been a while. He had a double his last at bat last night and a home run his first at bat today. He can carry this club.
If there was ever a time to do it, this would be it. The last 3 weeks of the season. Imagine put up July numbers last 3 weeks. This one's fouled back 2-2. Angels need it.
Out down the Trout farm.
Fires Redden. Here comes the 2-2. Inside. Full count. Two strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed so far for the big, tall right-hander on the mound for Houston. Albert on deck. Tired of waiting. Trout backs out. Three-two, and he got him. Off-speed pitch, back-to-back strikeouts for Fires, 2 outs. As Albert steps to the plate, will take a look at the Honda upcoming schedule. Angels will go to Seattle tonight. 3-game series there, all 3 night games, and it's the Minnesota Twins for a 4-game series. Beginning on Thursday, then it's off to Houston. They come home to play Seattle and Oakland. They finish the last 4 games of the regular season in Texas.
That's controlling your own destiny. We have 11 games against the teams you were chasing in that wild card and division lead.
Albert takes a breaking pitch down and away. Albert popped out to the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez, in the first. Staying away from him so far. 3 infielders on the left side. Back-to-back strikeouts for Fires to start this 3rd inning. Breaking pitch, pulled foul. A little bit of a hanger that was up in the zone.
Kind of slows down his arm motion on his curveball. Doesn't do it on his changeup.
Breaking pitch, pulled over to 3rd base. VR has it. Across the diamond goes the throw, and the Angels are down in order. 3 complete, 2-0 Halos. The telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Gonzalez, Rasmus, and Villar for Houston here in the fourth inning to face Andrew Heaney. Has 3 strikeouts and 2 walks, 2 hits allowed, back-to-back innings, which he's given up leadoff singles, but he retired the next 3 in both occasions. Popped up. Perez take a look at it, but it's out of play.
Nice play by the hat.
Gonzalez 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center. Prior to this year, never played first base. Skies went foul. No balls, 2 strikes. A lot of towering pop-ups today, foul or otherwise. Just missed low. It's 1-2.
That's a pretty good pitch. Very similar to the pitch he got Villar called out on a 3rd strike. Fastball right on the inside corner at the knees.
Down goes Gonzalez on the breaking pitch, 1 down.
It was a great sequence after just missing. Fastball down, went slider down and in. As a hitter, you have to commit to that because it was close enough to pitch before. And that sharp break, swing and miss for Andrew Heaney. Nice job by Carlos Perez recognizing that, especially since that pitch before just missed out of the strike zone.
Rasmus with a base hit leading off the second is 1 for 1. Pushes the bunt on the third base side. Heaney will pick it up. No play. Rasmus with pretty good speed legs it out for an infield base hit. So 2-hit game for him. And it'll put a man on for Jonathan Villar.
And the only person that's going to have any chance at all to make that play would be Andrew Heaney. But with that speed of Rasmus, beats that one out rather easily.
Villar struck out looking in the second. Both teams now with 3 hits. 0-1. Texas opening it up now on Oakland, 6-0. Still 7-0 Minnesota. Yankees finally beat Toronto 5-0. Cleveland beat Detroit 7-2. First of a doubleheader. This will pass Freeze. It'll sneak through for a base hit. So 2 on, 1 out. Hank Conger coming up.
Cleveland now at 500, 70-70 on the season.
Conger popped out to Crow, his first at bat. Takes outside. It's back to Rasmus. And it's 2-0. "61 pitches for Andrew, 39 have been strikes. And Gonzalez on a very good slider, but a bunt base hit to Rasmus. Now single by VR. Hank cuts through the off speed.
And looking for that ground ball and an infielder here. They'll get a double play turn. Conger's rolled into 5 double plays.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hank hitting 157 from the right side this year. Home run he hit last night is 4th from the right side of the plate. Like Perez, he's gotten all 3 games of the series. 2-2. That hits Conger. Featherston had cut into second base looking for a pick. And now Conger will walk it off, or fast walk it off.
Yeah, Featherston's going back for a pickoff and then Stumble going back.
Now, can that throw off a pitcher as he looks back and all of a sudden is deciding to come home and he sees mindset or throw you off a little bit?
Yeah, sometimes you try to make an even more perfect pitch inside, because if it's away at all, you miss away, you don't have a lot of coverage on that side of the infield because your infielder's stumbling going back to his position.
So the hit by a pitch loads him up now, and the 9th place hitter Marisnick is up. Butcher out to pay a visit. Molina was making his way out there, but Butcher turns around and hits back to the dugout. Marisnick get a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1. Rasmus at third base, VR at second, and Conger at first. A 2-0 Angels lead. We're in the top of the 4th. Pretty good hack at a pitch right over the heart of the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Riverside Poly product. To start in left last night, gets to start at center today as Carlos Gomez was scratched from the starting lineup upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch, good location, 1-2. Hasn't been the cleanest of outings for Andrew Heaney. Not one like we've seen him pitch before today. But he's been able to battle through it, trying to do so now with the bases loaded. And 2 on in the 1st inning with 1 out, got out of it. Trying to work his magic here in the 4th. One, 2. Marisnick checked his swing. It's a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kind of overthrowing his slider a little bit too, and it's a dangerous pitch right now, especially with the bases loaded after hitting Hank Conger with a similar pitch last batter.
Marisnick pops it up on the infield. Carlos Perez has to make the catch here on the infield fly rule. 2 outs.
Good play. He had his helmet and his mask in the general area where that pop-up was at home plate. So he had to navigate not only with that high pop-up, but his helmet and mask.
So 2 outs, bases still loaded. Not out of the woods yet with Springer coming up. Springer, the former first-round pick out of UConn. Was 1 for 2 tonight. Struck out in the first, singled in the 3rd inning. Oh, 1. A little rally started by Rasmus with the bunt base hit up the third base line. Smothered by Perez. It's a 1-1 strike count. 4 punch outs for Heaney, 2 walks. Trying to navigate through this 4th inning. Big swing and a miss, 1-2.
Well, he challenged him with the fastball hard to the plate. Big pitch here now for Heaney.
Press set up inside the 1-2. Boy, oh boy, that was awfully close. Everybody was headed to the dugout. Heaney thought he made the perfect pitch. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And it looked like, according to our Fox tracks, well, he hit his spot. And they're asking in the dugout, he's saying it's off the inside corner. Very important now for Andrew Heaney to take a deep breath. And don't let that pitch bother him now.
Two. Full count. Now you get the merry-go-round going. The base runners are going to take off. Rasmus from 3rd, VR from 2nd, and Conger from 1st. Heaney trying to keep it a 2-0 Angels lead. Now Altuve is the man on deck. Runners go on the payoff. Popped up. Featherston cutting to his left. Calls off. Prone. 3rd out of the inning is in the books. The Astros will leave them loaded as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Murphy, Cron, Nybar coming up. Angels still up 2-0. strongest fan photo to hashtag West Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Nice job by Andrew Heaney to get out of that bases loaded jam in the fourth. Murphy, Cronin, Ibar for the Angels here against Mike Fiers. The Angels up 2-0. On this warm afternoon. It's been a hot week here in Southern California. When the guys from Houston are saying it's hot here, it's hot.
It's hot. Some rain coming in here to SoCal next week when we're in Seattle.
Yeah, good for the area.
Yes.
Murphy. Skies went out to shallow left. Rasmus, the left fielder, was playing shallow. Puts it away for the first out. Murph 0 for 2. 6 in a row, and now retired by Fiers since the single by Freese in the second.
Ideally, after that long, tough inning for Andrew Heaney, you would like to see the offense try to score some runs at the very least. Have some long at-bats to give him a little bit of a rest.
Crone looks at a strike. It is 13th of the year, leading off the second, 41st RBI.
Better feel for that curveball that time for Fiers. C.J. Crone has never homered in 3 straight at-bats.
Breaking pitch, pulled foul, just in front of Gary DiSarcina. The count remains at 0 balls, 2 strikes.
Quick conversation. You see that between Andrew Heaney and Carlos Perez going over pitches.
Fouled back. Almost a nice catch by Jeff Blum.
He knocked it down and kept it in front of him.
He did.
Yes, he did. Like a good infielder. Bodying up, keeping it in front of him.
Count remains at 0-2. 54 pitches for Fiers. 37 strikes. 3 punch outs, no walks. 2 solo home runs allowed. Breaking pitch off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eric Ibar's on deck. Texas now leading Oakland 8-0. 2-2.
See if he can bring something middle part of the plate. CJ has worked himself back to an even in the count now. Conger going away again.
And Crone chases it. 2 outs, 4th strikeout for Fiers. Folks, on September 25th, Halos will host Oktoberfest and the Game 1 music card. Come enjoy live German music, dancing, and beer tasting. Get your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or online. Why don't we do our open from there?
We should.
Tasting beer. Possible? Just promoting it.
Yes. Should do the opening down there.
Eric Ibar popped out to shallow center field his first time up. Looks at a strike. There, fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes. Fiers was 5-9 with a 3.89 ERA. 21 starts for Milwaukee before getting traded on July 30th. 7th game Let's remember the Astros, 6th start. Ibar shoots one out toward right center field. Not very deep. That is going to fall in for a base hit.
That is a tremendous sand wedge.
It's that big swing effect,
Yeah,
right?
especially in the day games where the baseball carries so well. A full swing like that, it freezes you in the outfield. Night game, you may play a little more shallow, have a better chance to run that one down. The 1,200th career hit for Eric Ibar.
Now they got the baseball. Dan Bellino
Threw that towards the Astro Bowl.
was tossing the ball aside.
Dugout. Yeah. This is the case. They wanted to keep that souvenir for Eric Ibar, the 1,200th career hit.
And why wouldn't you?
Yes.
I'm sure they can find a spot for it at Minute Maid Park. Isn't there
Up
a
on top
section
of
at
the
Minute Maid
train.
where all those baseballs are located
yes,
there? aren't
there
they?
is. Yes, there is.
How
We have
about
to
the,
sign it first, I'm sure.
How about the Astros clubhouse? Here's Freeze, is 1 for 1. Eric with a pretty good lead. Quick tag by Gonzalez. Eric, 11 stolen bases, has been caught 5 times.
And Fires has a very quick move. 2 pickoffs this year. He's allowed 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts with the Astros. But Hank Conger has had his problems throwing out would-be base stealers. He's thrown out a little over 2% this year, under 3% of would-be base stealers that Hank has thrown out.
Altuve shading Freeze toward the middle. He pulls this one to short. Correa will flip it to Altuve, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. The Angels leave a man on. We're through 4, and Halo's up 2-0. EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse, more live channels on the go than cable. And by the Acura It's That Kind of Summer event. Top of the 5th inning, Halo's up by the score of 2-0. Now Altuve, Correa, and Gattis coming up for the Houston Astros. The longtime Angel fan, the great Bill Engvall, stopping by the booth to say hello.
Great to see him.
Yeah. Looks good. Busy man. He's working quite a bit. As is Andrew Heaney today. 75 pitches through 4. Worked out of a bases loaded situation last inning. He'll throw a strike to start off the at-bat against Altuve. Astros second baseman drew a walk in the 1st and a fly ball to right in the 3rd.
Decided to take that first pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes. Altuve came in batting .312 with 11 home runs and 57 RBIs. Shoots this one out towards center field. Now it'll get by Trout. Altuve racing to second, and he will stop right there as Trout gets the baseball back in. It's a leadoff double. 31st double of the season for Altuve.
This is the hit machine. Altuve. Fastball away, went down and got it, hits it into the gap. 31st double. Coming into this game, a .332 career hitter against the Angels.
Third time in this game, the Astros have had their leadoff man reach. They did it in the second and the third. Both of those occasions, Heaney retired the next three guys. Correa steps in now. 0 for 1 with a walk and a punch out. No balls in a strike. The 31 doubles sounds good for Altuve, and it seems like it'd be up among the league leaders. Depends what everyone else does, but it might just now get him into the top 10. Michael Bradley came into play today, leading with 43. Kendrys Morales of the Royals with 41.
What a season Morales is having for Kansas City.
Angels have action in their bullpen now as Heaney's at 81 pitches. Fernando Salas and Jose Alvarez, righty and the lefty. Two balls, one strike. Not at all surprised to see that in the fifth inning. He's kind of been bobbing and weaving a little bit through the first 4+ innings.
Certainly a must win today.
Absolutely. Especially when you look up and you see Texas up 8-0 on Oakland.
Minnesota winning 7-0 on Chicago.
This one pulled to third. Freeze has it. One down.
That's a big out because not only you get the out, Altuve's unable to advance to third base. Break a ball down, got a ground ball rated Freeze.
Evan Gattis up. He's 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a ground out. That ground out was more of a line shot, one hopper to Eric Ibar in the third inning. Altuve, good lead at second base, and Heaney will spin around. No 1 count.
Turn him off with a changeup first pitch. Upper quadrant of the outside part of the plate.
No 1. Gattis fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes. Both Salas and Alvarez ready to go if necessary. 1 out and a man at second base for Houston here in the 5th. Featherston wants to pick off. This one's off the end of the bat towards center. Trout dealing with that sunshine. Never easy. Makes the catch. 2 down.
Almost had me fooled on that one too. The best way to catch a popper like that is to try to turn your body enough to Take as much as way you can of the sunshine. You can see him shaking his head. Fly ball right at him. Tries to get that angle. See the baseball just a little bit better. Tracks it last second. And gets it in quickly.
Using the glove. Try to block out that sun. Keep it right there. So 2 outs. Marwin Gonzalez up. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball to center to strikeout. Quick conversation. Astros no runs, 5 hits. They've stranded 7. The Angels 2 runs on 4 hits. They've left 2 on base. Trout with a solo home run with 1 out of the first inning. His 35th of the year. Cron a solo home run to lead off the second. His 13th of the season. Off the end of the bat. Featherston, long run over, same with Cron, and has it go off the glove. Nice effort by C.J. Cron as he bangs into that short wall.
Yeah, he almost got to that baseball. How quickly he got from his position at first base to try to reach up and make a play and then run right into that short wall. Reaches up just off the end of the glove before colliding with the wall. Good effort, though, for C.J. Cron.
0-1 count on Gonzalez. Ground ball back up the middle. Not hit that hard. Featherston has it. Off balance throw. Cron takes it out safe at first. Infield base hit. Now Altuve ends up at third.
And once that ball got by Andrew Heaney, even with that arm strength that Featherston has, not gonna be able to throw out Gonzalez going down the line.
He'll stick with Heaney to face Rasmus. 2 for 2 today. Base hit to right field in the second inning. A bunt base hit in the fourth.
Well, if you're Andrew Heaney right now, you know this is more likely your last batter. Don't save anything in the tank. Give everything you have to get Rasmus out and finish off this inning. Put yourself and the club in a position to get a W.
Ground ball toward first, and it's a foul ball. Thankfully, it's a foul ball.
Right off the base.
Got to play that to his side.
Yeah, you got to almost
square up on
just
that.
getting this body up and keep that in front.
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario, just the 1 run would be in, but you got to keep that in front and anticipate your pitcher being there for coverage on the flip throw over to first base.
1 ball with strike, just missed off the plate. Now Altuve with the leadoff double stands at third. Gonzalez over at first base. 3 infielders on the right side for the Angels. Against Rasmus. Fouls this one off into the seats. So Heaney ahead of the count.
And make your very best pitch of the game right here if you're Andrew Heaney.
There's the 1-2. Down and away.
Oh, that they missed by a lot. That's
borderline.
Nearly perfect pitch. Try to back it up once again. And if you're David Murphy out in left field, be ready. If that pitch is going to be away like that, he might try to hit a ball to that side of the field.
Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch outside, full count. Gonzalez now will be off on the next offering with 2 outs. 93 pitches for the young lefty. Gonzalez at first base, takes off. Altuve's at third. 3-2 out toward right center field and hit well. Trout racing back. He will track it down for the third out. Rasmus gave it a ride, but Trout makes the catch, and we'll head to the bottom of the fifth with the Angels still up 2-0.
Ranking in that NL Central, though. They did win today. Chicago, the Cubbies lost. Pittsburgh in extra innings. The Rangers look for focus before that Texas showdown, that trap game. Thinking about it against Oakland today, but they've played very well so far in the game. Lead that one 8-2 before taking on the Astros in a 4-game series in Arlington.
Mike Butcher and Andrew Heaney talking things over. It's been a chore for him through 5 innings, but he has limited the Astros to no runs. Carlos Perez fouls off the first pitch.
Just watching what Andrew was doing there, talking to Mike Butcher, how sometimes you can see he was like slinging the baseball instead of getting out in front, and his head was moving. That's why he was pulling off some of his pitches. But still, he battled his way through 5 shutout innings.
Perez fouls this one off, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. The Astros have left 9 base runners on board, and that's the 3rd time in this game that Andrew had given up a leadoff single and left him stranded on base.
Good play by Trout off the bat. I thought that was troubles.
Yeah. Now, but Gonzalez going there.
Yep.
Tie game, perhaps.
There's certainly some baseball souvenirs here again today. Quite a few.
Yep. Souvenirs for everybody. Perez popped out his first time up. Fires with 4 strikeouts and no walks. Featherston on deck, then Cole Calhoun as Carlos skies this one to right. Springer comes in, now moves back a couple. 1 away.
Fires back on August 21st. No hit the Dodgers, 3 walks, 10 punch outs to 134 pitches in that game to pick up his first career no-hitter.
At Minute Maid.
Not known as a pitcher's yard, that's for sure.
Tough ballpark to throw a no-no.
But even you look at McCullers' numbers at home, Keuchel's numbers at home, amazing their ERA in that ballpark.
The Astros at 3.08 as a staff at home. 3.72 out on the road. No balls, 2 strikes on Featherston, who a little bouncer back to the mound to end the second. While the Angels go up to Seattle, Houston will head to Arlington. 4-game series beginning tomorrow night. They will face Cole Hamels tomorrow. 2 down. Featherston goes down swinging. Strikeout number 5 for Fiers.
The key for this game for the Angels to be successful, kickstart my heart. You see at the top of the order, Cole Calhoun has meant so much in this club since moving back to that leadoff spot. So far today, though, twice called out on strikes on 91-mile-an-hour fastballs, middle part of the plate. If he gets a fastball here, I gotta believe he's going to be hacking early. He was hacking, but that a little bit more of a cut fastball.
See Cole just shaking his head. He's just not picking up the baseball. Let it fire his hand.
Some guys you match up well as a hitter against, some guys you don't, and so far, now in the 3rd at bat for Cole against Fiers, this has not seen the ball well out of his hand.
Breaking pitch, called strike 3, and the Angels go down in order. 5 complete, 2-0 Halos.
Trout, the first pitch he saw in the game, first at bat, solo shot to left field, his 35th of the season, and C.J. Cron on a 2-0 pitch, got a changeup, turns on, hit it down the line, his 13th of the season. Andrew Heaney has battled through 5 shutout innings, had a pretty sharp slider, had 4 punch-outs in 5 shutout innings. That's going to leave that ball off now to Fernando Salas, but the 2 home runs hit by Trout and Cron against Fiers today.
Halos will have to piece this one together with 4 innings out of the bullpen. Fernando Salas, first man up. Pitched Friday through 12 pitches. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. Salas on the season has pitched in 60 games, this being number 61. 3-2 and a 4.42 ERA. 64 punch-outs in 55 innings of work. He's got the bottom third of the order up here for Houston. VR, Conger, and Marisnik. First 2 are switch hitters, so they will spin around to hit from the left side. VR 1 for 2 with a base hit. Heaney today, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, no runs. Andrew ended up throwing 94 pitches in today's start. Saddles behind now, 2 balls and a strike. Chopper to short. 2 hopper for Ibar. 1 down.
Good off-speed pitch. Out in front. Nice play by Eric Ibar.
Had go for 1. Popped out in the second inning. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th. .273 hitter from the left side. Cuts through that first off-speed pitch. 0-1 count. 6 hits for Houston, 4 for the Angels. Oh, 2.
Oh, that's a great changeup. Fernando has a very good one. Spots his fastball 90 to 92 range. Slider, but that very good plus changeup he has.
Ahead as far as the Angels pen. Joe Smith has pitched the first 2 games of the series. Houston Street's pitching 3 straight games, although there was an off day on Thursday. Angels don't have an off day till they finish up the next road trip. Conger fouls it back. Stays at 1-2. That Thursday will be the last off day of the season.
A lot of arms down there available for Mike Scioscia now. The expanded rosters.
2 down.
Well, that 2-seamer had some serious action.
There are arms down there. The question is, who do you trust in tight games and meaningful games? That's another thing.
How much this 2-seamer runs? That starts on the little bit off the inside corner and runs to the outside corner.
Preston Tucker's going to pinch hit here for Jake Marisnick. Tucker, a .253 hitter in 84 games this year, 12 home runs, 32 RBIs, 3 for 7 as a pinch hitter. 2 of those 3 hits, long balls. Checked his swing, fouls it back, and it's an 0-1 count. Marisnick finishes the afternoon going 0 for 2. Rasmus can go to center. Springer can go to center. And Rasmus over to right. Tucker out to left. Gomez scratched in the starting lineup before the game. No balls, 2 strikes.
Get through this inning and hope that the offense can expand the lead in the bottom of the inning. Trout leading off, followed by Albert Pujols. Need to expand, add on.
Oh, 2. Tucker takes that breaking pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Carlos. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Andrew Heaney today made his 15th start with the Angels. Lasting 5 innings. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks, 1 hit batter. Shutout baseball through 5. Tucker pops it up behind the plate. This one landed toward the seats, I should say. Trevor got loosened. He won't see action in the 6th inning unless something unravels here. Tucker goes down swinging. No, foul tipped, and Perez unable to hang on to it. Fouled back. Tucker, old school with no batting gloves. University of Florida product.
Couple in that lineup. Gaddis, the same thing.
Now he goes down swinging in a 1-2-3 inning for Salas, including a couple of strikeouts. Into the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Angels. Big A All Access Angels gives fans a chance to bid on great experiences like Steel Third and Honorary Bat Kit. For more info to bid on these experiences, log on at angels.com/access. Trout, Pujols, and Murphy for the Angels here against Mike Fiers, coming off a 1-2-3 inning. 6 strikeouts, no walks, and 4 hits allowed. Trout 1 for 2 with a home run in the 1st inning and a strikeout in the 3rd.
You notice right now today, after a home run on the first pitch, his first at bat, a double on his first pitch. Last night, his last at bat, all speed pitches early in the count against him, which allows him to put himself in position to be ahead of counts.
Two balls, 1 strike.
Home plate umpire Dan Bellino really gets down to be able to see that low strike. See him behind the plate, get right down there low to be able to see if there's any borderline down lower part of the strike zone.
Jams Trout with that fastball. That's 2-2.
Well, here's our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. First pitch that Mike Trout saw in the 1st inning. Solo shot number 35 on the season. Perfect swing for Trout. Second at bat, though, fires through him a nice changeup to get a swing and miss. And back out and down with a fastball. I gotta believe at some point he's going to try to come back with this changeup.
2-2, went around the breaking pitch. Chicago throw down to first base, complete the strikeout, 1 away. 7 strikeouts now for Byers. Brings up Albert. 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a ground out. Two and out. 80 pitches now thrown by the right-hander.
Give him a 2-0 changeup. Inner half of the plate. Kind of a mistake pitch for him. He wanted to make sure he threw it in the zone.
Albert skies this one on the left side. Altuve and Correa. Let's take a charge for the veteran.
When Albert upset because he had a pitch to hit. As he popped that one up, running down the line, he knew he had a pitch to do some damage, just got underneath it.
So 2 outs, and here's David Murphy. 0 for 2. Bouncer back to the mound and a fly ball to left. By the way, the Astros keep Tucker in left and move Rasmus to center. One ball, one strike. 3 infielders on the right side with Murphy at the plate. Flips this one out to left. Tucker is there. Halos go down in order. 6 complete. 2-0 Angels. To save you money, log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by Hyundai, great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Top of the 7th on this warm Sunday afternoon here at the Big A. The Angels looking to sweep the Houston Astros, have a 2-0 lead. And here the 7th, Mike Scioscia goes to Trevor Gott, who last pitched on Labor Day Monday against the Dodgers. Through 16 pitches, should be fresh. 37th game this year, 2-2 record, and a 3.03 ERA. He's got to navigate through the top part of the order for Houston. Springer, Altuve, and Correa. Salas, by the way, pitched a scoreless 6th inning. And gave up a ground out, got a ground out, and struck out 2. George Springer, the right fielder, 1 for 3, single back into third. Made the last out of the 4th inning. That was with the bases loaded. First one's way inside. Two balls, no strikes. Pretty good pitch. Broken bat flare out towards shallow right center field. That will fall in for a base hit. So Springer is on board with his 2nd hit of the game. That bat shattering.
Runs this 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner half, and that bat just explodes. Handle, and then 2 pieces flying of the barrel in the infield.
Now Altuve doubled his last time up. Takes down low. Two and 0 now. Altuve 0 for 1. Very few guys have seen Trevor Gott. Springer takes off. The pitch is a strike to throw down to second. A good one, and he got him. Nice throw by Carlos Perez for the first down.
Boy, a quick transfer, perfect throw, and a quick tag. And Featherston. Quick release. The transfer was excellent. The quick tag gets him before the hand on the base. Right here, tag and hand on the base.
It's the 14th time, or pardon me, the 4th time this year that Springer's been caught stealing as Altuve fouls it off, and it evens a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you'll take that too, especially going on a 2-0 count with Altuve at the plate. Gives you new life when you're on the mound now.
Altuve grounds this one to second. 2 outs.
That's the reason why you're seeing Carlos Perez, even with the day game, because of his ability to throw the ball, that quick transfer that he has to slow down this running game for the Astros, leading the American League in that category with 106 stolen bases coming into the game.
And trust me when I tell you that gets around. When you talk about scouts and advanced scouting reports as far as the running game, this is a team that leads the world in stolen bases with 106. They haven't done a whole lot of running in this series. They've had a lot of base runners to do it too.
Pitchers done a nice job of holding the ball, varying their looks and their throws. Carlos Perez has been excellent.
No balls, 2 strikes on Correa, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. That's a called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Stretch time here at the Big A. 2-0 Angels. Astros, he'll face Crone, Ibar, and Freeze. The Angels looking for some insurance runs. Myers has given up 2 solo home runs. It's the difference in this ballgame to Trout and to Crone. He's thrown just 85 pitches. 60 have been strikes. 7 punch outs, no walks. Just 4 hits allowed.
He has been solid. His changeup, very good. Spotting his fastball both sides of the plate.
C.J. Crone 1 for 2 with a home run in the second, a strikeout in the fourth. Four for 9 in this series. Hank set up outside. Foul back, got Hank. Got on that right shoulder area. Hey. One pitch. Down to the chase, that high fastball, 1-2. Breaking pitch, and that's hit well out to left center field. Rasmus racing back at the wall. Door! Big fly for C.J. Crone, second of the ballgame. 3-0 Angels.
And another great swing on an off-speed pitch. Homered on a changeup. Homers on a curveball. Third time in his career, 2 home runs in a game for C.J. Crone. 3 home runs in his last 2 games. The breaking ball stayed upstairs, and he stayed back on that one well. A lot of times you get out in front, hips open up, and he kept the bat back, got the barrel on that baseball, and drives it out once again in the deep part of the field, giving him home run number 14 of the season.
Halos needing some insurance. Get one. It's 3-0 with nobody down and Ibar up.
Taking a page out of the way the Astros score runs. Lots of home runs. 3 today for the Angels. 3 solo shots.
Eric Ibar 1 for 2 today. Had a base hit in the fourth. Ibar lifts one out to left. Preston Tucker is positioned that way, makes the catch for the first down. That falls better, getting ready. It's the 3rd time in Fire's career in which he's allowed 3 or more home runs in a game. The first time since May 25th, 2013. Gave up 3 home runs in that game. That was against the Pirates. First one, first strike. Most home runs he's given up in a game 4, and that was against the Houston Astros. 2012. David Freese, a 1 for 2 game with a single in the second. 1-2 to David. Breaking pitch, chopped to short. 2 down. So base is clear for Perez. Joe Smith getting ready for the Angels. He'll pitch the 8th. Gaddis, Gonzalez, and Rasmus due up. Carlos, 2 fly ball outs today, so he's 0 for 2.
Very good behind the plate once again today.
This one lifted out to right center. Rasmus moving over. Dealing with that sunshine. He lost it. Drops in there. Perez to second with a double.
Like we said earlier, anything hitting the air is not an easy play today. Especially after he started off the game in left field. Team trying to track that as much as possible. Last second sees it, been unable to get over there to catch that fly ball from Perez.
Carlos with his 9th double of the year. Fires thought he was out of the 7th. Instead, will face Featherston, who's 0 for 2. Aside from the home runs, first time today that the Angels have had a man reach second base. Featherston rolls it foul.
Just casually ran by the base.
That's it. Qual's ready to go in the pen. If A.J. Hinch wants to go that way. Taylor struck out at his last plate appearance. Perez with 2 outs, able to get a pretty good lead over at second. 3-0 Angels here in the 7th. Breaking ball for a strike.
Very top of the upper part of the strike zone.
Off the plate with that fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crone for the 2nd time today leading off an inning with a home run. Did it in the 2nd, does it here in the 7th. Two now. Featherston strikes out swinging. The Angels leave a man in scoring position, but they do add to their lead. 3-0 as we head to the top of the 8th.
to 3 solo home runs, 1 from Mike Trout, 2 from C.J. Cron as they go for the sweep this afternoon of the Astros at the Big A. Welcome back, everyone. And following this one, it's All About Angels Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Myself, Jose Mota, Alex Curry, bringing all the highlights, interviews. We'll talk about Andrew Heaney's performance, 5 shutout innings this afternoon. And we'll also look ahead to the road trip. Angels get on a plane tonight, head to Seattle for 10 straight games on the road. 3 against the Mariners, 4 against the Twins, 3 against these Houston Astros. Angels have 20 games left in the regular season, 11 of those games against teams that are ahead of them in the standings. Certainly a great opportunity for the Angels to gain some ground in the AL West and wild card chase. But right now, it's all about sweeping the Stros here at the Big A. So for the 8th inning, let's send it back inside to Victor and Mark, guys.
Thanks a lot, Frenchie. It'll be Evan Gattis, Marvin Gonzalez, and Colby Lewis. Or pardon me, Colby Rasmus. That'd be incredible if Colby Lewis was batting here.
Yeah, he pitched a good game the other day. Be able to go swing the bat also.
We didn't tell you get traded over to the Astros. he's
a position player now.
Joe Smith pitching in his 65th game, 5-5 record, a 3.75 ERA. He pitched last night, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Gattis swinging first pitch, shoots one out toward right center field. Trout drifting over, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the 8th.
Well, you love that when you come out of the bullpen and get that 1 pitch out.
Marvin Gonzalez will step up now. He's 1 for 3. Good slider down and in. Good bite to it as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trevor Gott worked a scoreless 7th inning. Gave up the leadoff single to Springer, who was caught stealing for the first down. Altuve grounded out, and Correa saw 3 pitches and struck out looking. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Angels, after a horrific month of August, have played much better baseball here in September. 7-3 so far this month, with an ERA 2.80. That has gone down today. Houston, on the other hand, has struggled here in the month of September. They are 3-7. One, 2. Down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rasmus on deck. Joe last night threw a total of 12 pitches. Breaking ball, got him looking. Down goes Gonzalez, 2 down.
Gonzalez didn't like that call, that backdoor slider. A little bit off the plate, though. And a reason to be upset in the corner of our Fox tracks, but credit Carlos Perez. He didn't move his glove. A lot of times when it's a borderline pitch like that, a catcher will try to move the glove. Just keep it there. Give that illusion as if you hit the exact spot you wanted to throw it.
So 2 outs. Rasmus at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Swings first pitch, grounds one to the right side. Ibar has it go off his glove. Featherston's there, throws to first, got him. That might be a 6-4-3, 1 out play at first. That'll end the top of the 8th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. 3-0 Angels. Sipp, the lefty, comes in. It looks like there's face Cole Calhoun. Angels at the top of the order coming up, and Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols. 51st game, 2-4 record, a 2.14 ERA. And he takes over for Mike Fiers, who did a nice job. They gave up the 3 solo home runs, but he struck out 8, walked nobody, and allowed 6 hits.
And Tony Sipp, fastball, 88 to 92 range, slider, changeup.
Colo for 3. He's happy to see Fiers out of the game. Went down looking 3 times. One ball, one strike. Qualls getting ready. He'll pitch to Trout. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Sipp with a career ERA against the Angels at a little over 5. Qualls a little over 8 career ERA against the Angels.
Three balls and 1 strike. Sipp not known for walking guys. 50 strikeouts, 13 walks at 46 in the 3rd innings. 3-1 pitch. Cole cuts through it. Full count. Looks like he lost the handle of the bat there. The bottom hand seemed to come off into the swing. Sipp's payoff pitch. Cole strikes out, swinging, 1 down. Here comes A.J. Hinch. A 1-batter situation for Sipp. And we're going to step away here. The pitching change. Chad Qualls, a veteran, is coming on a release. With Trout coming up, 1 out. Nobody on base. Pitching change. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Angels up 3-0. Pujols, the veteran, pitching in his 54th game. 1-4 mark at a 4.14 ERA. Was on the mound when the Angels walked off on the Astros on the Taylor Featherston base hit to shallow right field earlier this year. They'll face Trout, who's 1 for 3. Homering in the first inning. Sip works then 1/3 of an inning, striking out Calhoun.
Ball's fastball, 90-94. Slider, throws a lot of sliders and a split finger fastball. Mentioned he has struggled against the Halos in his career. 8.40 career ERA, 14 earned runs and 15 innings pitched.
Home run to Trout hit in the first inning, his 35th of the year, 77th run batted in. Career high last year at 36. First pitch off the plate. Rasmus deep in center. The other two outfielders, Tucker and Springer, pretty much straight up and left and right. Two and 0. Code 1. Conger set up outside. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Trout takes a little bit high. 3-1. Ground ball to short. Correa has it. 2 down. So base is clear for Albert with 2 down. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, it's the bottom third of the order coming up for Houston to face Houston. Street getting ready in the bullpen. Albert 0 for 3. Takes a strike.
Boy, Albert tried to pull that fastball at 93 on the outside corner. Very difficult to do so.
Downstairs. That's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right now it's Villar, Conger, and Tucker. Scheduled 3 batters for A.J. Hinch and the Astros. Texas still leading Oakland 9-4. That game's in the top of the 9th, it looks like. Minnesota ended up shutting out the White Sox 7-0.
Torrey Hunter with a big game for the Minnesota Twins. 3-run home run in that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Astros heading to Arlington for start of that 4-game series tomorrow night. The Angels will head to Seattle. 3 games set up there. Tomorrow it's lefties in Arlington. Kazmir against Cole Hamels. The Angels will have Garrett Richards on the mound tomorrow night. Full count. Taijuan Walker going for Seattle. Felix Hernandez, Nick Tropiano in game 2, and Hisashi Iwakuma and Jared Weaver in the finale of that 3-game set Wednesday night.
3 very good pitchers going for Seattle in that series.
Nobody said it was going to be easy. 3-2. Albert breaks his bound, holds it foul.
That barrel had some serious distance. Shatters the bat on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That barrel of the bat went a long, long way into the outfield grass.
Desart getting out of the way of it.
Good decision.
Yeah. Since there was nothing coming his way. Another 3-2. And that shot to right field, chasing Springer back a couple of steps. He'll put it away for the third out. The Angels go down in order. We head to the ninth. Houston Street coming out of relief. It's a 3-0 Angels lead.
Of the ninth inning. Street has been outstanding season for the Angels. 35 saves and 39 opportunities. ERA 2.54. Fastball 88 to 91 range. Very good changeup and slider.
Bottom third of the order coming up against Houston Street, pitching his third straight game. Last night threw 11 pitches and picking up save number 35 of the season, 310th of his career. He's tied with Goose Gossage for 22nd all time now. He'll face Luis Valbuena, will be the pinch hitter to start off this ninth inning. Jonathan Villar, and then you've got Preston Tucker, who will be due up third. Andrew Heaney went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. No runs allowed. And pardon me, I misspoke. It's Villar, then Valbuena batting for Conger. Jonathan Villar, the third baseman today, 1 for 3, a strikeout, a single, and a ground out. Takes upstairs. Houston last night in the ninth inning pitched to Lowry, Gaddis, and Gonzalez, picking up a couple of punch outs. Lifted on the left side and to shallow left field. Colin Cowgill is there. 1 out.
Nice job getting around that baseball to get that angle, cut out that sun. That first important out here in the ninth.
So here's Valbuena pinch hitting for Conger. Hank finishing up going 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Valbuena hitting .209 on the season, 22 home runs and 49 RBIs. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. Seems like home runs that he's hit, especially against the Angels, have been the opposite way. Takes a big rip, comes up empty as he fouls it straight back. It's an 0-1 count. Andrew Heaney, the pitcher of record for the Angels, looking for his 7th win. A victory today not only completes the sweep, the Angels would move to 2.5 back in the American League West. Texas, they hold on to pick up that victory, and this game holds. It would be a half game back in the West. 0-2.
In 11 games, the opponents in front of you. Minnesota 4, Texas 4. And also you got 3 more with Houston, so make it 10.
0-2 upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Houston no runs, 7 hits. They've left 9 on base. Angels with 3 runs, 6 hits, have stranded 3. The Astros had some opportunities early on, especially in the 4th and 5th innings. Left the bases loaded in the 4th, left 2 on in the 5th. Heaney working out of some trouble.
Under control today. Didn't necessarily have his best command. But Andrew Heaney did a nice job of limiting any damage whatsoever. Made some quality pitches with guys, especially in scoring position.
Streets 2-2 now. Lifted, foul, and out of play. Swing and a miss. Down goes Valbuena. 2 down.
How about part of the strike zone and 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Houston Street? Yeah, not overpowering, but because he can throw his changeup anywhere he wants, and his slider, same thing. That 91-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs looks about 95, 96.
So 2 outs, bases cleared. And it's Preston Tucker at the plate. Tucker 0 for 1. Pitch hit in the 6th inning and struck out. Salas a scoreless 6th inning. Gone a scoreless 7th. Smith a scoreless 8th. On the corner to even the count. Houston in Wednesday's game picked up the save. Had the day off on Thursday. The Angels have won 3 straight 3-2 victories. Trying to make this one a shutout. Swing and a miss. 1-2. They took the series against the Rangers. They lost 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. And on the verge of sweeping the Astros here and picking up their 8th win in the month of September. Tucker rips one out to deep right field, and that one is gone. A home run by Preston Tucker on a 1-2 pitch makes it 3-1 Angels.
Well, he jumped on that high fastball. And he didn't miss it.
13th home run of the season, 33rd RBI for Tucker.
Well, that time it tried to go upstairs with his fastball, but not quite high enough at 91.
That was on the line. 196th home run hit by the Astros this year. Springer today 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. No balls, 2 strikes. This one headed to the seats. Trout with a solo home run in the first. Cron with solo home runs leading off the second and seventh innings. Third career multi-homer game. Perez set up outside of the 0-2. Springer just got a piece of it, keeps his at-bat alive. One or two. Tucker with a 2-out home run to put the Astros on the board. The 5th run the Astros have scored in this series. One to the Springer. Reaches out, punches out to right field. Cole racing over, dives, can't get it. Goes to the wall. Springer rounding second. Heads to third. He is in there with a triple. And it'll bring up the tying run at Jose Altuve. For Springer, that's his first triple of the season and his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Slider that he went down and got a good swing from Springer. The diving effort, unable to get that one. Cole Calhoun. And Springer able to get his first triple of the season.
So stress for the Angels here in the bottom of the 9th as Houston got the first 2 outs, gives up the home run to Tucker, now a triple to Springer. And the pesky Jose Altuve at the plate, 1 for 3, a walk and a double. The double is 31st, and that was leading off the 5th inning. Houston working for the full windup. Altuve lines one out toward left center field. That'll get down for a hit. 3-2 Angels. Astros not done yet. Tying run now at first base. Altuve picks up his 58th RBI.
Up there swinging early off the end of the bat. Falls into the outfield for an RBI single for Altuve. And a dangerous hitter at the plate now.
Quick visit by Mike Butcher. And you wonder if Altuve's on the move at some point. 37 stolen bases, has been caught 12 times. Correa, the shortstop. A walk, 2 strikeouts, and a ground out. Still 2 outs here in the 9th. It's a 1-run lead now. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Houston, and he fouls it off. No balls and a strike on Correa. Nice play in the stands. One-handed grab in the upper deck. Been a steady flow of up and down for these fans over the last 3 batters. Oh, 1 pitch. This is a hot smash. Taylor Featherston with a diving stop, no play. Had the ball stick into the webbing of the glove. Wow. A terrific diving effort. Couldn't get the baseball out of the webbing. A single for Correa, the tying run at second.
What range he's showing on this hot shot from Correa. But could not get the ball out of his glove. Literally out of his glove.
There it is. Jed Lowry's going to pinch hit here for Evan Gattis. A remarkable effort by Featherston just to get a glove on that hot smash. 2 on, 2 outs. Tying run in scoring position. Lowry takes low. They ask on the appeal, and he did not go. A .231 hitter this year. From the left side, .203. Lowry last night hit a hot smash leading off the 9th against Houston Street, and it was snagged by Effort Navarro at first base. Here's the 1-0. Lowry is swinging a miss. Houston going with a fastball. That evens the count. Career numbers against Street. Gaddis finishes the afternoon going 0 for 4. This all started with a 2-out home run by Tucker. 4 straight hits for the Astros. 1-1. Just a little bit low. And look, I got the bottom part of the strike zone. Street doesn't get the call, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, that's definitely, according to our Fox tracks, in the strike zone. Right there, touching that lower part, lower quadrant.
Skies one out to deep right field. Cole Calhoun into the corner, near the wall, reaches up, and that is gone. Unable to make the catch, a 3-run home run by Jed Lowry, and the Astros lead it 5-3. A pinch hit home run by Jed Lowry has turned this game completely around.
Stunning right here at the Big A. A mistake right down the heart of the plate. We know how well the baseball carries in the day, especially down the corner. Cole reaching up. Just over his glove.
A 2-out rally by the Astros. 5 consecutive hits. One of which stuck in the glove of Taylor Featherston and Jed Lowry. A pinch hit home run. His 9th home run of the season. And Houston Street is done here in the 9th with 2 outs. Astros now on top 5-3. Five consecutive hits, and it started with the home run by Preston Tucker, and it ends with Jed Lowry homering just beyond the reach of Cole Calhoun. Looked like he mistimed the jump.
Just as he got to the wall, as soon as he got to the wall to try to brace himself to jump up, hit the wall again with his hip.
7 men have come to the plate. Here's Marwin Gonzalez with 2 outs and nobody on. He will look at a strike. Luke Gregerson will pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. The Angels have Calgill, Navarro, and Ibar. C.J. Cron no longer in the game with the defensive change. Navarro taking over at first base. The Angels will have to find a way. 1 strike away from finishing off a sweep of the Astros. And Preston Tucker hammered a fastball into the seats in right, and it snowballed from there. Alvarez thought he had the punch out. It misses in, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two now. Gonzalez rockets this one foul. That hits Gonzalez on the leg. So Alvarez, after getting ahead, can't finish off Gonzalez. Instead, plunks him, and the inning continues. Colby Rasmus is due up.
Just overthrew that pitch.
The 5 earned runs allowed by Houston streak in this 9th inning, the most he's ever given up in his career. The last time he'd given up 4 earned runs in a game, August 10th, 2009. And you see Taylor Featherston there, and really helpless. Made a terrific play on the Correa hot smash. Just couldn't get the baseball out of the glove. If he does, it's the 3rd out, and the Angels are getting ready for a plane ride to Seattle. Instead, the inning continued. Here's Rasmus. Swings first pitch, fouls it back. 0-1 count on Rasmus. Got the start in left. He's been in center since Marisnik was pinch hit for by Tucker back in the 6th inning. 2 for 4 game with a couple of singles. Off the plate. Navarro playing in front of Gonzalez over at first base, especially with a lefty up at the plate. 1-2. So Andrew Heaney, no decision for him. Chad Qualls, who got the last 2 outs of the 8th inning, is now the pitcher of record for Houston. Here's the 1-2 from Alvarez, and Rasmus rips one down the right field line, but this one hooks foul out in front of that one. Mike Morin loosening in the Angels' pen now. Alvarez, the 5th reliever used by Socha since Heaney lasted just 5 innings. There's Mike. One-two pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This was a team that the Angels had on the ropes, on the verge of a knockout punch, having scored Total of 4 runs through 2.5 games of this series. That one's off the plate, full count.
You know, fastball off the outside corner. When you put it in perspective for Houston Street, he only allowed 3 earned runs in his career versus the Astros. That's covering 13 games, 12 2/3. Really all started with Preston Tucker's swing.
Yep. 3-2. And it's a walk. So now Alvarez hits a batter, walks another lefty. So 2 on, 2 outs. And you've got Jonathan Villar coming up. Villar was the man that started off this inning by hitting a fly ball to left field against Street. Astros have batted around here tonight, and that's going to be it for Alvarez. Spin Villar around, hit from the left side. So pitching change, Alvarez done. Unable to get that 3rd out, hitting a batter and walking a man. The pitching change in the 9th inning, the 2nd of the inning, with the Astros up 5-3. Through 2 batters, unable to do so. Let's go back and show you that ball that Correa hit. Featherston making an unbelievable play to get to it on the 1-hopper, but the ball just stuck in the webbing of the glove.
Especially with that speed for Correa, no chance to get that out. The only thing you can do is you can flip that glove to second, but there's no way, especially with even Altuve there going to second. See how that baseball was scorched too.
Villar spins around to hit from the left side, facing Moore and pitching his 34th game. 1-1 record is 6.84 ERA. Gonzalez, the base runner, at second. Rasmus at first. 5-3 Houston here tonight. Villar today 1 for 4. Even though Villar hits better from the left side, or has hit better from the left side this year than the right, so should. Morin's a better option to get that final out. Alvarez unable to do so through 2 batters, even after getting ahead both batters, I should say. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Foul back, 1-2. And that stunned silence here in this ballpark remains.
Unbelievable. They were on the feet, the entire stadium. Everyone standing up, thinking the game was over with 2 strikes on Tucker.
BR goes down looking, and that'll do it for the Astros, but not before they make some serious noise. They drop a 5 spot on the Angels. Halos now trailing 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Gregerson takes over on the mound. He's the closer for the Houston Astros. And he's done a nice job for Houston this year. 56th game, 7-3 record of 3.04 ERA, 26 saves. He has 49 strikeouts at 53 and a third innings. He's got a new battery mate. Max Stassi is the new catcher. And Conger was pinch hit for by Luis Valbuena.
Gregerson's fastball is 88 to 91 range. Slider, changeup, has thrown a lot more fastballs this season as compared to what he has done in the past. He's thrown a lot more sliders than fastballs. Just the opposite this year. Fastballs more so, and also has that very good slider.
Looks like the Angels will pinch hit David DeJesus here to start off this ninth inning. So Colin Cowgill came into the game defensively in the 8th inning, does not get a plate appearance. And DeJesus will to start the ninth. DeJesus, a .234 hitter this year. 9 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, and 30 runs batted. He's 4 for 23 as a pinch hitter, 1 for 10 with the Angels. Oh for 2 in his career against Gregerson. No balls and a strike. Sinking fastball down and away.
Again, thrown a lot more of those pitches this year as compared to his slider.
One ball, 1 strike.
They get 1 runner on to bring that tying run to the plate.
First time he's pitched since the 6th, and that was against Minnesota. This is lined to first, 1 down. Right to Marvin Gonzalez. Efren Navarro coming up for his first plate appearance. Efren a .260 average this year in 41 games. 4 doubles, 5 runs batted in. He took over defensively at first base. C.J. Cron in the 8th inning. Takes a strike. Taps this with foul at the plate. It's no balls, 2 strikes at .329 at AAA this year. 72 games. Been up and down the last several seasons with the Angels. Soch's going with him defensively late in the game with a 3-0 lead. That's why Cron's not coming up here. Going with a couple of home runs today. Backdoor breaking ball misses, and it's 1-2. 6 hits for the Angels. 3 solo home runs. Trout in the first, Cron in the second and 7th innings. That has been all. Efren goes down swinging, 2 outs. So the Halos down to their last out here. And it's Eric Ibar coming to the plate. Ibar in his career 3 for 8 against Gregerson. Tonight 1 for 3, or today I should say 1 for 3 with a base hit. One ball, no strikes. Matt Joyce has come out to the on-deck circle. He would pinch hit for Caleb Coward. One ball, 1 strike. A 5-run top of the ninth for Houston. Capped off by the Jed Lowry pinch hit. 3-run home run. Just beyond the outstretched glove of Cole Calhoun near the foul pole in right field.
He got a mistake pitch. He didn't miss it. And the ball carries very well down in the corners here, even at night, but especially during the day.
Ibar chops this one towards second base. Altuve comes up with it, fired to first, and the Angels drop the final game of the series by the final of 5-3.
Boy, tough one to take considering how well the staff pitched the entire game, get into that 9th inning, but credit Houston. They came back strong, scoring 5 in the top of the 9th to win the finale of this 3-game set. An opportunity to sweep, did not get it.
So the Angels go from being a 2.5 back to going 4.5 back in the West, and a chance of dropping the game to Texas in the wild card before starting this long road trip. 5-3 the final. The Astros win the last one. Stick around. Angel 5 post game is coming up next.